Hey, it's Ashley the Boot Babe, and I am here at the Dallas Merchandise Mart, and I have a special guest for you today. Her name is Sandra Morton, and she owns Rodeo Hippie. And if you don't know who Rodeo Hippie is, make sure you Google it right now. Otherwise, listen to the podcast, and after, make sure you go and like her Instagram. So, without further ado, Sandra Morton, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ashley. I'm super excited to be here.
You're like, I don't know what we're doing here. You know what, Sandra, your story is super inspiring. You told me your story earlier. And so I want to start with, how did you get, because Sandra has a showroom on the 14th floor at the Dallas Merchandise Market, which means it's a permanent showroom. So how did you get here?
Oh, that's a good story. I used to work for a gal, and I sold her jewelry. That was my past life. And she said, you know what? I think there's a gal up at Dallas Market Center that is going to like your line. Can I take you up there? I said, sure, no problem. Came up here. I met Jill at West & Co. And she said, oh my gosh, I have to have your line. Can you start tomorrow? We have market tomorrow. Can you start? And I said, absolutely not. I am not prepared. I am not ready, but I can start in January. And I was like, not expecting that at all. So one thing led to another. I, got my stuff going over there. And then, I was invited to come into another showroom, to expand basically. And that's where I am now.
Which is exciting, right? But you haven't always been in the Western industry, right? You started somewhere else. And where was that?
I had a pretty long line that got me, where I got to today. So I started, my degree is actually in costume design. I stayed in Austin doing theater for the Paramount Theater for a really long time, being the principal dresser. And then, you know what? I just decided that sewing, really fast for people that were really needy wasn't my thing. So then I ended up going into, working with an interior design company for a long time. And then I got into fashion merchandising with Forever 21, had my own store, and then started opening stores for them, got picked up by a line called Phillips Van Heusen, and then picked up by a line called Pandora Jewelry, and did merchandising for them as one of their lead merchandisers, opened up a bunch of stores, set planograms, etc., and then started working for a company called Lagos Jewelry, as an account executive. So I did sales for them as well as merchandising. And that's kind of where I got both the backgrounds. And you learn to market, you learn to do all kinds of stuff for your customers. I had 84 accounts. And then I got picked up by a company called De Beers. Sold diamonds for...
Like De Beers, the jewelry company De Beers, right?
Yes, De Beers. Yeah, so it's been a whirlwind of a trip. Then I decided I wanted to settle down, and so I've moved back to Dallas, in my hometown is Fort Worth, and decided that I wanted to start my own thing. And so that's kind of how Rodeo Hippie evolved.
And so what does Rodeo Hippie mean to you?
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm a little rodeo, I'm a little hippie.
I mean, pretty obvious, right? But still, I think a lot of people relate to that, right? They have like this ulterior side that's not rodeo at all. And then they have a rodeo side. And so Rodeo Hippie has expanded like nothing I've ever seen. You told me you're in about 360 doors right now, which is super impressive, right? And so I know that you just recently spoke at Texas State for the merchandising program, right? And you gave them an overview of your company, yeah? So can you give me in like a pretty brief synopsis? Like, I started at zero, I went to this, because you said you've been growing incrementally, which is interesting because a lot of people want to know, how do I grow something, right? Where do I start? How do I grow? So just a little synopsis.
You grow a little bit at a time. Don't take it too fast. Grow at a steady pace, kind of give yourself a goal of what you want to do and see if you can achieve that. If not, don't beat yourself up. Like, keep going to where you can obtain it, and then give yourself a little bit more and a little bit more, and as well as your product line. Like, don't get crazy in all your designs and, that sort of thing. If there's a design that's working for you, you create it in a different color story, do something different. People don't like to see so much. You got to kind of like minimize it a little bit. And I mean,
that's great advice though. Minimize it. Make sure that you give yourself like adequate goals that make sense, right? Like, I'm going to be a billionaire overnight. Like, how about we try and make $10,000 first? Or how about we try and make $1,000 first from something? I know you're a big champion for women. So at this point, you have grown Rodeo Hippie to this, and you said you're expanding your showroom, which is super exciting, right? January market's coming.
Yes.
What do you want people to know?
Gosh, come and see us. We've got some great brands, in here. We have a line called Gone Roping, and then Cotton and Rye is joining us. I'm going to be next door, which is super exciting for us. I'm expanding the men's line. We have a collection, but it'll be even more clearly defined, I feel like, in the showroom. We're going to have all kinds of fun stuff too, ribbon cutting and, some cool drinks. And
So if you're going to end up being at the Dallas market in January, this would be the place to be, and you'd want to come see Sandra at the Rodeo Hippie showroom. Thank you so much, Sandra, today for being on. I'm very grateful. I wanted to know if you had one thing to tell women, because we directly focus on women a lot, and how do they grow? How do they get to where they want to be? A lot of people that listen to this, they are aspiring, right? They're like, I have an idea. I have something that works. Like, what would you encourage them to do?
Be a good person. Be a good person. Good things happen to good people. I can't even tell you. Like, be yourself, be genuine. Don't try to be anybody else, and live each day to the fullest.
Yeah, she told me, like, I've lived every day so full that if I died tomorrow, I would feel happy. And that's inspiring. That's what we all want to inspire to be. So I appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And again, it's Ashley, the Boot Babe, live at the Dallas Market Center. And it is the October, I think it's the apparel show. I guess it's an apparel show, but they have shows every so often. If you don't know about the Dallas Market, listen to our other podcasts. You'll find out all about it. Signing off today from the Dallas Merchandise Mart. See you later.